So it's finally arrived. We've come to the end of the racing series for 2025, organised by the Triathlon Northwest of England, with special thanks to everybody who's taken part, and in particular TriFit, who have provided the Captain's Rewards, and Rixo Recovery, who've sponsored the event and have provided the prizes to the champions. More of that later. So thank you to them both for supporting it. The kit to the captains I know has been received by them and it's been greatly appreciated, and Rixo will be talking more about their package and what they offer you guys as triathletes at the end of the presentation. You'll have to hang on if you want to see the winners' prizes. It's been a busy 8 or 9 weeks as we've been taking part. We've learned a lot of stuff about the format, about ourselves, set new FTPs, done a great deal of riding, and hopefully had a great deal of fun. I've been getting a lot of feedback from the captains week by week, chatting away to me, and it sounds like everyone's had a pretty good time. So there have been 52 teams from the 12 clubs, or realistically actually about 15 or 16 clubs represented because of the Barbarians that took part. And we had registered with us 613 participants in the end. So we think that there's 613 triathletes who took part in at least one of the races over this spring series. There were 35 of those races, 8 racing weeks split out over 9 actual weeks. And as I've said every time, and I've got to say again, thank you so much to the captains who've spent the last 2.5 months herding you cats into teams and making sure you're there on the start line ready to race in the best form you possibly can. They've done an amazing job. We couldn't do it without the captains. They're the guys who make it possible. So do take time out to get hold of your captain in your club and thank them again for helping us to organise this event. Before we go any further, I have to make some apologies. We made a few mistakes in the Heroes Week scores, and so we have to make some adjustments. So in amongst the results, there are some adjustments because we missed out the Barbarians, who turned up with the oldest rider, and we forgot to mention it. If we're going to get 70-year-olds competing, then we need to count their scores. So apologies for that. We missed out completely the young riders' scores, and it was so fabulous to see people as young as 12 taking part in the series as well. So to miss their scores out was appalling. And Susie in particular, we missed off your score completely as well when we published the results. But your captains, who are ever vigilant, explained this to me, got a bit of feedback from some captains and participants. Those scores have been accounted for as we come up to the final results. Before we go on, and before I bore you rigid, we do need to make some thanks again. So first of all, to all of you who took part with such good humour, enjoyed it, and took part in the spirit that we really want this series to take part in, which is about working together, involvement, enjoyment, and participation ahead of performance. That's what we always talk about. Serpentine and Trident from the East and London regions, or London and East regions respectively, thanks so much for joining us. It's been brilliant to have a couple of other regions represented in the series this year, and we are so much hoping that we can grow that and get more and more clubs from around the UK involved in this series, which we know those of us in the Northwest have been enjoying for 4 or so years now for most of us. A couple of new clubs as well who took part for the first time and with some really good performances, so you're a welcome addition. The new innovation of the Barbarians, which was inspired by Paul, and Richard helped with that, is harder to organise even than the clubs, because not only are you organising your own club members, but you're organising the members of other clubs as well. So thank you for those guys. A great innovation, and we're really pleased to have it. And we do know that there are some clubs that struggle to get teams out every week, and so it's good to have some way of getting them involved as well. And because Manchester turned up pretty last minute, we had to merge the Manchester and Chester teams to work together, even though they are completely separate triathlon clubs. They worked very well together this series. I'm really hoping that they can both put out their own teams in the next series. I'm sure Manchester can. You're a big enough club. I know you can do it, and you had some very strong performances. But thank you again for the way in which you did all of that work. Now, I did send out a link for some feedback, and I'm going to put a copy of that link in the comment section, or the narrative section that goes with this YouTube video. Please do, if you haven't already, take the time to click the link, give us some feedback. We're trying to improve, we're trying to make it better. Thank you to the 40 or so who've already done that. It's fantastic. Really appreciate you taking the time out. It doesn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes, and the feedback is really important to us. And we're pleased for those that have fed back that you like it. We did get 1 poor and 1 good rating, but everybody else rated the series as either excellent or very good. So captains, take that as feedback for the excellent efforts that you've put in to make it all work. We've had a lot of narrative feedback as well. Good to know that we're better than the Zwift Racing League in the way in which we do this event. Excuse me. So we're really proud of that. And we just want to keep developing. We're delighted to have the clubs from the other regions, and we do hope that you will be back for the next year if you possibly can be. We appreciate the fact that sometimes this is about training. So those of you that have got thinner and faster, we've seen a lot of FTP set this series. We are here for you in this series. I'm glad you took part in it. It's a good way, hopefully, to interact and in the darker months to get on that turbo and to really start working with your teammates, even if you don't get to see them as much as you'd like. And for some of you, it's improved your FTP, as we've said. And for some of you, it's just meant that the turbo session isn't quite as appalling as it could possibly be. It's been very good training. So you've been extra motivated and you've had fun competing as a team within your club. And it's this interaction that we are trying to encourage. It's great for your club, hopefully, is coming together as a team, and also for your personal training too. Trident turned up from the east of England. We were delighted to invite them. We'd like to invite more people next season so that the guys from Trident can race about people they've ever heard of before. Try not to be offended by that in the northwest. Hopefully it's been good for motivation, it's been good for your morale, it's been good to push yourself harder, and it's really brought you all together. The scoring system apparently needs some more clarification. It's almost impenetrable to some of you, so we're taking on board that feedback, and we too hope that we can make this series go from strength to strength as we develop. But more than anything else, we love this comment that you've enjoyed virtually meeting other teams and other individuals each week across the triathlon community, sometimes at the other end of the country, and working and racing together to have a lot of fun and improve yourself and your club's performances. So that's what we're all about. Really fabulous to have that feedback. We will try to improve the explanation of the scoring systems next time, and we'll try to improve the communication of results, but it's tricky. There are 150 of you racing in the last race, for example, and some of you will tend to use rather quirky and interesting Zwift names, so it's actually quite hard to work out who the hell you are sometimes. So it does take quite a lot of manual work to compile a set of results, and we'll have to think of ways of improving that in the future. Now, to the overall results. And first of all, I want to highlight what I call the club class. These are the guys, because everybody's score counts, and if you're in one of the leading teams or the winning teams, it's because these guys in the other teams have been there boosting your score by turning up each week and racing with you. So we want to say a huge thank you to everybody in the club class. You are the real club members of your triathlon clubs, and hopefully you've enjoyed it for yourselves, but also you've been pushing and adding to the scores of those faster athletes within your teams. Preston, I know you've struggled to get numbers out this year, so your A and B teams unfortunately have come 51st and 52nd in the table. And then what we see here are a lot of the D and E clubs and C clubs in some cases as we go through. You can see it's all quite close between those clubs, all the way to, in 34th position, Bolton B there. We then get to the heartbeat. These guys right in the very centre of this are doing a lot of racing. We tend to find these guys in these clubs forming little groups and little packs in each of the races and having their own personal battles. So Total Tri, great to see your B team there. The Manchester Chester team, the C team coming in there, Tri Lakeland, and then the first of the A team. So these people are putting out their best effort. So Bolton A coming 30th, the Barbarians C team in 29th. Mersey, you were a new club this year. You managed to get your D team out, and you managed to break the 100-point barrier for a first time, which is a hell of an achievement. So well done to your team. Great also to see Serpentine, your first time racers, and Chorley in there. Trident, and then as we get down to 24th place, we start to see the super teams like Wire turning up and appearing on the list. We've got the A team from Tri-Lakeland drawing with the B teams from Barbarians in 22nd place. We've got the Manchester Chester team, B team, coming in 19th. Chorley A in 18th. Mersey B 17th. Wyre E team in 16th. And there we go. We see Rochdale suddenly appearing on the board. And their G team, yes, their G team, came 15th in the series. So now we get to the big guns. So in joint 13th place was Manchester Chester A team and the Barbarians A team. How funny that the two merged teams tied with each other at the end of all that racing on 137 points. Congratulations to you guys. Well done for getting onto the top of the table. Trident A, well done. Your first time to come in 12th place is impressive with 138 points. And then we start to see Rochdale and Rochdale F, 143. Getting into the top 10, the Wyre D team, 145 points. And then in 9th place, and again, first time as Mersey A, 152 points. I know that Mersey started to work out a little bit about how better to work the scoring system this series as they became familiar with it. So I'm expecting great things and maybe challenging for honours and medals at the top of the table next year. So now, Wyre C came in 8th place, Rochdale E in 7th place, Wyre B in 6th place, Rochdale D in 5th place, and Rochdale C in 4th place. But before we talk about the top 3 places, let's just talk about what was at stake and what these guys will be earning. In the past, we've done sessions at the Velodrome, but this year, Rixo Recovery, who help busy athletes who love their sport to recover quickly and reduce injury risk, have come on board to help you achieve that faster progress, to achieve your faster times, and to give you some support in terms of recovery. So the winners, that is each of the 6 team members from the winning team, will receive a bespoke recovery package, and for each of you that's worth more than £550 each of kit that you'll be receiving. It's like being a tri-professional. So we've got to thank you once again to Rixo Recovery. For those of you who didn't win the prizes but want to be up there next time, can I encourage you to go to their website, the Rixo.com website. You can click on a free-to-use guide there, which will give you a little bit of scoring about how your recovery is working, and they can give you some recommendations to how to improve your racing. Once again from me, Rixo, thank you so much for supporting the series this year. And the winning athletes, whoever you are, I hope you enjoy your packages, but more on that. So in 3rd place, Wyre A, who battled hard to try and knock Rochdale off their perch, not quite able to do it this year. Valiant effort. Thank you for all of your racing. Rochdale B came in 2nd place, which can only mean that the champions this year are Rochdale A. And I'll be in touch with Neil, their captain, to give me the correct details, make sure he nominates who are the honoured 6 recipients of the prizes, and that'll be winging its way out to you as soon as we can get that organised. So it only remains for me to say thank you so much. Thanks for paying attention, and see you all in 2026.